everybody, welcome back. So happy to have you join in. What are the odds that my phone falls out of this crappy little phone holder while I'm driving? Probably pretty high. Love how they advertise these things as universal and they're not. Anyway, I wanted to just say hello and share with everybody a little bit about what is going on in my world. I feel like I haven't really been doing a lot of anything, and let me explain further. So at the beginning of the year I had been traveling a lot. I had been going to a lot of shows. We had been doing a lot of things. I felt like I had very, very clear cut and outlined goals for myself, and I felt like I was like doing the things. And now, fast forward to the last couple of months, I feel like I'm very much at like a standstill. And I want to talk about that a little bit further because, again, on these videos, I try to relate everything back to the stuff I'm going through with the horses, because I think it is a good example that applies to other things in life. But for the beginning of the season, I really had a different vision in my head about how the year was going to go. I really thought we were going to be doing a lot more trips far away from home this year. I had some like really big shows lined up to go to, and that has like fallen through for a few reasons. One, because in case you guys have forgotten, I really started struggling with my one horse. As you remember, this started happening earlier in the season. We started hitting barrels. I got bucked off. Like it, has just been a little bit of a disaster. So I really had to kind of wash all those goals away for, what I had envisioned for her for the year. And we really just had to reset and reevaluate our plan. My other horse has still been doing really, really great. But the issues with my other horse has impacted some things here and there. And then the other big factor is we got into a a lack of living situation. Let me be specific, a lack of living situation. Not because of anything we did. I don't want anybody thinking I'm like a criminal or something, but we were renting a house. Our landlords decided to try to sell the house, leaving us nowhere to live and kind of scrambling to figure out a place to live. So all the big shows and the travel that I had planned, all that kind of went out the window because that fell right around the same time that we were scrambling to find another place to go. So for the last 2 or 3 months, like things have been a little hectic, but as far as feeling like I'm doing anything like towards what the goals were that I had set out for the horses this year, I really feel like I've been like at this like standstill. And I wanted to chat about that today because it's very apparent to me, going from kind of like how my days and my weeks and everything was going at the beginning of the year to knowing how they feel now. It's very clear to me that if you don't have an outline of what it is you're trying to accomplish, what your goals are, the timeline for those goals, if you don't have a schedule for what you are trying to do, it is so easy for the days to run into days, to weeks, to months, and like you just wake up and you're like, where did my energy the last X amount of time go? Like, what did I accomplish? What did I do? And I could see that if you let yourself exist in that headspace for too long, I can see how people can lose big chunks of time, like even years of time, to just not feeling like they're doing anything, like you get to feeling stagnant. So I really had to reset, and sometimes we have to reset, right? Like sometimes we have to pivot, sometimes we have to change direction. The things that we thought we were working towards for whatever reason is either no longer an option or is an option that we have to change or we have to pursue differently. And for me, that with the way everything went this year, that's kind of a little bit how I feel. So for me, the other day, I was like, okay, like, what are my new goals this year now? Like, what are we trying to do now? Like, we missed this opportunity to go to like some of these bigger shows, so like that's not an option anymore. I haven't been chasing the local like the local shows that give the points, like NBHA, like that sort of stuff. I haven't been chasing that this year because that was never my goal when I started out. So I'm way behind the 8 ball all of that. So that's not really a realistic goal to try to win a division or place high up in the region in those organizations. I got this one horse that like I'm back to basics with, essentially. Like, we've started our whole training over again. So it's like, okay, what is our reset now? Like, we need a direction, like we need a plan, or we're just gonna like be floundering here and not really feeling like we're getting anywhere. So here's what I settled on, and maybe it will help somebody out there. For me, I'm going back to the goal of just the daily grind, the daily process, the daily struggle. With my one horse, it's all about conditioning right now. It's all about keeping her in shape, like the best shape of her life. Like, we've added some new things to our training regimen. We're doing a lot of stuff on the ground because she's 17, so I don't want to wear out her joints. I don't want to wear out her back. I don't want to make her sore unnecessarily. That doesn't help anything. The point is to keep her in shape and to keep her highly conditioned without wearing down those things. So I'm going to doing a lot of stuff on the ground that engages the muscles required to barrel race, but doesn't require me to be on her back and get in her way, so she can move very naturally. We've done some swimming stuff. We're going to get back to racing on the track. Really overhauling how I keep her in shape. So my goal with her is to get her in the best shape of her life without wearing her down. I want to preserve her joints, preserve her athleticism. So when we go to World Finals in October, she's in the best shape of her life. She's feeling fantastic. And also, that will set us up to she's also in the best shape of her life and also feeling fantastic next year. And all these big shows that we didn't get to go to this year, the plan is to go to the next year. So for her, that's our new goal, is just the daily grind, keeping her in shape, not wearing her down. Every workout be with a purpose, to work a certain muscle group or to work the cardiovascular system. And I just want her feeling the best that she's ever felt. I got AccuScope treatments for her scheduled, and that's the plan that we're rolling with. I am going to take her to a couple of local jackpots, and my goal with going to those, because I really believe you have to have a goal in mind, or if you're not doing things with a purpose, you're not going to get as far, and then 2, you're not going to feel accomplished, because if you don't have a goal before you go, you can't feel like you either succeeded or failed and need to go back to the drawing board. So you always got to have something that you're trying to achieve. You always have to have a purpose. So we're going to go to some local jackpots. We're not going to go hard and heavy, because again, the goal is to keep her very in shape, but not wear her body out. So we're going to go to a couple of jackpots, but we're going to be really selective about the ones we go to. And the aim when we go to those is run hard, because these are keeping us in shape for World Finals, and then also run hard because my goal of these local jackpots is to get to second division. She won the third division last year in the region. She's placed in the fourth division at super shows. And for people who might not be familiar with barrel racing, there's usually a second difference, right? Like there's a divisional difference. Like if you're at a local regional jackpot, you're probably, and you're placing it in 3D, then when you go to these super shows, you're probably placing in the fourth division, because there's usually a division of difference. So if she can place at the second division at these local shows, then in, you know, my head, that's like, okay, we're getting closer to being in that third division caliber team at the big shows, which is what I would ultimately love to accomplish next year. So that's my goal with her. With my other horse, it's the same thing, except a little different mentality. But for her, we've really had to start over this year. We have gone back, like I have treated her like I just broke her and we're just starting to train. Like everything is back to basics with her. But it's the same focus. It's the daily grind. It's the daily process. It's the daily struggle. It's, as one of my mentors would say, wash, rinse, repeat. Like every day, the same thing. We tack up, we ride, we work on the basics, we work on the foundation. She gets a nice bath, gets cooled off, gets treated special, puts in her stall. Next day, same thing. Just over and over and over. Like wash, rinse, repeat. Even though it's real easy to feel like we're not, you know, getting anywhere or accomplishing anything, the daily grind is where real achievement happens. So we have to remember that, like, it's not about the one championship game that you play a year. It's about the daily grind, the daily in and out, the faithful work that you put in every single day for the future accomplishment that you're hoping to achieve. So that is what she's going through. And, you know, I had to kind of check myself for a little bit, because I felt like maybe I was falling behind or being lazy, or I don't really know how to explain it. Like I just felt like I wasn't doing anything with myself, because we weren't going anywhere or competing anywhere or hauling to races. And I even had a couple of people I know up here kind of ask me like, hey, are you still in the area? Are you still barrel racing? I haven't seen you out. I haven't seen your horses out. Like, do you still have the horses? And, you know, the first instinct is to like feel bad about that. Like to be like, oh wow, like am I wasting my life? Am I wasting my horse's life? Like we're not doing anything, we're not going anywhere or accomplishing anything. And you start to just feel a little like not yourself. I don't really know how else to describe it, but you just start to feel a little stagnant, like you're not doing anything with your time. And I had to like check myself and reset my mind with that, because it's like, no, you're doing the most valuable thing that you can do. You're putting in the daily work, you're putting in the consistency, putting in the effort, you're putting in all the hours that is required to be exceptional at something. And it takes a lot of hours behind the scenes, in the trenches, you know, being sweaty and tired and all that stuff. It takes a lot of hours in that headspace and in that environment to accomplish anything great. And I think I might have forgotten that a little bit, because I've been riding quote unquote finished horses for a while now. So for me, it's been all about like just hauling as much as possible, racing, you know, doing the things. And this one little setback I've had with my one horse has really reminded me, like, no, this is what it's really about. Like putting in the foundation, putting in the hours, doing the basics, putting in your effort and your energy and your sweat and your frustration and all the stuff that goes into it. Like putting that in behind the scenes when no one's around to cheer you on, when no one's around to support you, when you have no validation that you're not about the end result. It's not about the big championship run or the big championship game. When you look at any amount of success in life, whether it be with sports or a skill or careers or relationship or financial success, there's one thing that all those things have in common, and it's that someone somewhere for those things put in a lot of consistent time and energy and effort and sweat equity, like frustration, emotions, like all of that went into those moments of success, and all of it probably happened behind the scenes without anyone's knowledge, because someone decided that it was worth it to do the daily grind, to trust the daily process, to go to bed, get up, do it all again the next day. And they did that for a long time before they started reaping the benefits, or they started reaping the rewards of their hard work. So we want to enjoy the fruits of our labor, but we got to put in the labor to get there, right? It's not going to happen overnight. So I had to remind myself of that as we kind of switch gears here a little bit. Don't feel like you're not doing anything if all you're, quote unquote, all you're doing is putting in the daily grind, putting in the daily consistent work and the daily consistent effort. That is doing something. Like, you're behind the scenes, no one's noticing it, no one's seeing you, no one's there cheering you on, but that's going to set you up to be great down the road, or to enjoy life fuller down the road. I hope that blabbering helped someone, makes a little bit of sense. That's what we're working on. I will keep everyone posted. I hope everyone is having a great day and a great week. And if you have similar experiences, don't be afraid to share them in the comments. I had someone the other day write me a very nice message saying how one of these videos really helped them, and that made the world of difference for me, because from this end, I'm just talking into a black void and I don't know if it actually makes a difference for anyone or not. But if one of these videos just speaks to one person out there and maybe helps one person with something they're going through, that makes it totally all worthwhile. So don't be afraid to share your thoughts and experiences.